Good afternoon, Central Ohio. We are tracking some pretty good amounts of rainfall here across the area today, and we are going to continue to see some of the rainfall as we go through the rest of this afternoon and into the evening hours, as we are going to really just talk about a lot of rainfall here that we really need. And yeah, we're going to see some more rain here, at least through the next 12 hours before things really start to taper off as we head into tonight. Now let's go ahead and dive into the forecast here as we are talking about what's going on here across the area. And if we can turn off the sound in the, there we go, as we are tracking just a lot of activity here for today with all the rain across the area, even a few thunderstorms that have built in. But check this out. We have a lot of rainfall, and some of the higher amounts have been south of I-70, where we had 2.63 inches in Greenfield so far today over the last 24 hours, and more rain, of course, is happening right now, and it's going to continue through early tonight. 1.79 in Chillicothe, 1.5 for Logan, 1.23, just about 1.25 inches in Circleville, and Columbus across the metro, anywhere from a half an inch to getting closer to 1 inch of rainfall so far today. Likely getting higher than that 0.77 now, because we do have some heavy rainfall making its way through the metro here at the present time. So here's a live look over downtown, and a little hard to see downtown, of course, with the rain and the cloudy skies. And that's also keeping our temperatures in check here today. We did make it up to about 69 degrees, and now we have cooled back down with this secondary round of rain building in, now down to 68. So we may still make it up to 70. That would be the high for today. Don't think we'll get any higher than that because of the rain. Going to continue through about 4 p.m., becoming a little bit more scattered around then. But there will be another line of showers and maybe a few storms coming in as we get closer to about 8 o'clock this evening. And that's going to be with the cold front. That's going to usher in much cooler conditions here for tomorrow, and will really stick around for the next several days. We had high temperatures closer to 80, of course, yesterday and back over the weekend. That's all gone. We're locked into the rain, upper 60s today, and we'll be in the mid 60s here for tomorrow and into your Thursday. But as we go through the next several hours, we're staying in the 60s, eventually cooling down to the 50s after the rain clears out and we get clear skies, and eventually a lot more sunshine coming our way here for tomorrow. But let's take a look at the radar right now, where we do have a lot of rain across much of the area, but some places are still dry and haven't really had as much rainfall here today, especially north around Marion, Mansfield, back towards Kenton. We've had amounts less than a half an inch for those areas. The rain does continue around Delaware and really right smack dab over the Columbus metro, over towards Newark, down to Lancaster, Circleville, Washington Courthouse, and London, seeing some pretty good rain. And then there's another little break, and then we got more rain around Waverly and Jackson here. So let's go ahead and look at the Columbus metro. Notice some pockets of yellow and orange showing up, indicating some moderate rainfall here this afternoon. That does continue across the eastern metro, all the way further to the east along Interstate 70, heading out towards the Buckeye Lake area. And then back west, again around London, over towards Springfield, seeing some good rain. And like I said, there's a little break, Circleville to Chillicothe, but we are seeing still some light to moderate rain around Waverly, Piketon, Jackson, MacArthur, and even over towards the Athens area here. So this will continue to build in from the south and west, but notice as we look to the north, Marion, maybe a couple sprinkles, maybe some drizzle at best, but the rain not too far away. So there is still a chance we will see some of that build in here as we go through the afternoon. But then we have to look to the north and west as we track that cold front that's going to eventually sweep all the rain away, but it's also going to bring in another round here later this evening. So we're watching a complex of rain that's been building through here. Again, that's rebuilding now this afternoon with more rain coming in from the south and west. That stretches all the way back into Indiana. So at least a few more hours of the rain before things really start to taper off. And here's a look at that cold front. You can see more rain moving to the south and east, so that's going to help to clear all of this out of here, allowing for drier conditions by tomorrow, but also ushering in much colder conditions, at least cooler weather, more typical of what we would see here for early October. So going through the hour-by-hour forecast here for the next couple of hours, by 4 p.m. we're getting closer to the back edge of the rain in the Columbus metro. Still raining for Lancaster, MacArthur, Jackson over to Athens, up to Zanesville, and even Cambridge seeing the rain. Then as we get closer to about 5 p.m., a lot of that rain really ending for the metro, and it still continues but becomes a little bit more scattered around New Lexington, Zanesville, Newark, and Lancaster. But here's that secondary line with the cold front. That's going to build in. Here we are by 6 p.m. Getting closer to bringing some rain around Marion, Mansfield, and back to Springfield. And then as we get into the 7, 8 o'clock hour, we do see that line building through the Columbus metro. It's going to be quick. That one is not going to bring really much rainfall. Amounts would be less than a tenth, maybe as much as 2/10 if we have some of those thunderstorms, but likely lighter amounts with that last round with the front, and then that clears out. It takes the clouds with it, so by tomorrow morning, we're tracking the sunshine, and really a fair amount of sunshine here for tomorrow. Just keep in mind, we will see those winds out of the north, and that's just going to usher in cooler conditions here for the day. So additional rainfall, not a lot more as expected. We're getting some of the heaviest rainfall right now. So we could see another quarter to maybe a half an inch of rainfall, especially areas now north of I-70 seeing some better chances for some decent rainfall, but still a quarter to a half an inch, not out of the question here through about midnight tonight. And then we're done with the rain and really not tracking any major chances for rain in the extended forecast. But again, what we are tracking is that cold front, and that's knocking down our temperatures. We have highs only in the 60s here for tomorrow. And we'll keep that going as we look ahead to your Thursday, but eventually temperatures will start to rebound. And it's not just the high temperatures, it's those overnight lows, and they'll dip into the 40s and even upper 30s. And we'll have that in the 7-day forecast here in just a moment. So again, for today, upper 60s, we may get to 70 still. So far, we've been at 69 degrees, the highest temperature. Showers and storms ending early before midnight, down to 53 for the overnight low here tonight. And looking ahead to that 7-day forecast, you can see a big cool down, highs in the 60s, a fair amount of sunshine, especially on Thursday, looking at a perfect day, lighter winds, ample sunshine, 64 for a high. And then notice on Friday, 39 degrees here for Friday morning, so a bit chilly. Could see some areas of frost around, not for everyone, but some patchy frost, especially in those lower lying spots. Not out of the question here for Friday morning. But by the afternoon, we're back to 71 degrees, looking quite nice for some Friday football, and right on into the weekend. Still tracking nice conditions here with more sunshine, a few scattered clouds, but highs are back into the low 70s here for your Saturday and Sunday. So, of course, the big story right now is the rain, and we will be tracking it here for you for the rest of today. But also happening today in Boomtown, Central Ohio is becoming a hub for space exploration and discovery as Ohio State gets ready to welcome the first ever space park in the United States. But students at another university here are also having their eyes set on the stars. Meteorologist Meredith Garfalo visited the campus of Ohio Wesleyan University in Delaware.
In high school, I was really in love with astronomy, honestly, and I love physics and my math classes, favorite classes, and I was very interested in programming as well. So all that combination is just the perfect major.
Isabella Rodriguez Ortiz is a senior at Ohio Wesleyan University. This summer, she completed a research program that gave her the opportunity of a lifetime to get up close and personal with the stars.
Honestly, kind of like a dream come true, because it's what I wanted to research since very long ago.
As you can see,
it was made possible through a grant awarded by NASA to OWU astronomy professor Robert Harmon and graduate Rachel Rotenbacher, allowing students to take part in studying star spots like never before.
Star spots are dark regions on the surface of a star. They're cooler than the rest of the surface because strong magnetic fields suppress heat flowing up from below. On the sun, we call them sunspots. On other stars, we call them star spots. And by understanding star spots better, then we can understand how magnetic fields on our own sun work as well. So understanding the sun's magnetic field is important to us here on Earth, because the better we understand that, the better we can prepare ourselves for the possibly deleterious effects of solar weather, so to speak.
And it's research that allows students real hands-on experience.
The students are using data from the Kepler Space Telescope, which is retired, but it's still in orbit of the sun right now in space. But just to put into perspective, the mirror that's inside of that telescope is just a little bit bigger than the mirror that's inside of this telescope that's here at Perkins Observatory.
Building a skill set to help them in school and down the road after they graduate.
Totally changes your college experience for the better. I think it makes you a much more well-rounded student, and just overall it's really beneficial, yeah.
The kinds of things they learn by doing this research project are also the kind of things that companies are looking for. They learn critical thinking, they learn how to do data analysis, and so this kind of project has applications beyond the specific topic that we're studying.
The 3-year grant will allow 2 students to be selected each summer through 2027. Harmon hopes to publish the research and share the results with the scientific community nationwide.
Always some cool stuff there. And let's go ahead and keep on the space theme here this afternoon. And this is always cool to watch. This is a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launching with a batch of 28 Starlink satellites going into low Earth orbit. This was all taking place with a launch from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station down there in Florida. Always fun watching these rocket launches and learning about some of the different missions that are going on. Again, this one was to deliver 28 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit, just happening here recently. Now, also something happened last night. This is the full moon. This is October's full moon. It's also known as the harvest moon. It rose last night. This video that you're seeing, this is out of Tijuana, Mexico. You can see they're rising just over the country and the city of Tijuana. And this is also a supermoon last night. And it's known as a supermoon. It's not really anything totally spectacular, but it is a little bit closer to the Earth than normal, so it does appear slightly brighter and slightly larger in the sky. And if you missed last night's supermoon, there is going to be another one coming up in November, and there is yet another supermoon happening in December. So you still have some time if you want to eventually check those out here later on this year as we go into eventually later into the fall season. And of course, if we have to talk about it, winter is going to be right around the corner, but don't have to worry about that for some time. We get to enjoy at least some cooler weather, more fall-like conditions here as we head into tomorrow and for your Thursday with those highs in the 60s. So that will do it for us here today on 10 TV Plus. We're going to be tracking the rain for the rest of this afternoon. And later on this evening, Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz will be in with some of the latest on the rainfall and some of the numbers that we've had here across central and southern Ohio, because again, they have been some pretty decent amounts of rainfall, and more is still expected here through early tonight. So we'll have more on that coming up later on this evening. So until then, you can always catch more news and weather online as always at 10tv.com.